he ends up always kind of manipulating the truth to make himself look better in a lot of different ways, in ways that you don't really need to. You know, if you're like friends with someone, like I always trust Fed and whatever he says about anyone. But it came back to a situation where I found out that it wasn't always the truth. We came out with the statement because after we had a 3-hour intervention with him and 7 other girls, and 6 of the girls all came out with stuff against him, he proceeded after that day to contact the people who weren't there and kind of do exactly what we told him was the problem, which was to tell them only his side of the story, and kind of spin it in a way where he ended up being the better person. But it's like, I don't think that's like, we just had an intervention about it, so it felt kind of weird.
Really busy, and I was like, me busy? Like, you and Fed were, you know, 2 peas in a pod all night. And he goes, oh yeah, like, what's going on with you guys? And I was like, what do you mean, what's going on? And the guy informed me that Fed told him that we were together when we weren't, and that he told the guy not to tell anyone, not to talk to anyone about it, not to talk to me about it. And that was the first. He drove everyone around me away from me. And I started freaking crying at the intervention and after, just out of like mourning the years of friendship that I lost with these people because of him. Yeah. I want to put a huge emphasis on this. The way he shit-talked Yvonne and Lily to me and others, particularly, I will just recount my experience, is so frustrating knowing what happened between them. The Yvonne incident happened, and Fed would start talking to me. I'm so sorry for being emotional. He would talk to me about how Yvonne was lazy and not working enough and playing League all the time. And I was concerned, and he would say, oh, she like won't work on OTV stuff with me or brainstorm and blah, blah, blah. And this discussion got to the point of us almost letting Yvonne go from the company because we thought she just like wasn't interested enough in working with us, when in reality her behavior was entirely because of the incident that happened between them. Toast also sat down with Fed a year ago. At this point, Toast was the only one from OTV who was aware of the incident with Yvonne and Fed, and he warned Fed about the growing concern within our friend group in regards to his behavior around girls. And this was before we all shared our stories. In regards to his behavior around girls, especially when drinking, and this was before all the recent stuff. It was just like a concern that was starting to build at the time. Fed responded by getting angry at Toast and claimed to not have remembered the incident with Yvonne, and he seemed more concerned with who else knew about the incident and about anything else, and who had said what about him. I am sharing this on behalf of Toast and with his permission.
It's not enough to just be like one of the good ones and be respectful of women. I feel like there's always more I could have done. Like, not just for the girls, but just like when I see it happening, I feel like I should have said something or said more and was more firm and more encouraging.
So I also explained to the girls that I felt the only proper and unproblematic way for me to deal with my emotions was to move out of the house myself. And I also want to quickly elaborate. There were a lot of reasons why I wanted to move out. Yes, Fed was a big pushing force. I do still mean all the other things about moving out.
From what I read, they decided to go public with it because they had brought it up to Fed and they didn't feel like he was changing his behavior when with his power and influence, that he could still continue just doing the same thing to other girls. And I mean, at the end of the day, I support them for coming out with that stuff. I don't want to talk about this too much because it's not my story. Fed didn't do anything to me. I'm not the person who was the victim in this situation. It was the girls. And if you guys want to hear more about it, you should read what they had to say. I don't want to butcher or dilute their message. You know, hopefully this experience helps Fed change and grow as a person in the long run. Nobody likes hearing this kind of difficult news, but I think it's really important when you see victims actually talking about it. Or
the Chris Pekka situation, I will say Chris was extremely helpful in our formative years, and we fell apart due to a lot of different reasons, including the reason that kind of got let out. I 100% I want to say this, and I feel really bad saying this, but if you're one of the people who kind of minimized Lily coming out and talking about the situation, go fuck yourself. I'm really upset that she had to essentially deal with so much hate because she was brave enough to stand up for her friend as well as for her housemates. And I cannot be more upset about the situations that ended up happening. I will 100% believe her accounts of the situation. And I will be honest with you, I think Chris got off kind of easy. The final thing I have to say, and I really wanted to thank a couple of people. One, Dr. K for immediately answering Lily and helping her this morning after what happened yesterday. It's really nice of him. I know he didn't do it for like any kind of thing, but like it's not like a clout thing or like he just did it because he accepted. He was really nice about it and really helped Lily through a tough time. Additionally, Destiny came over at 4 a.m. last night and kind of walked through. And as a person who was firsthand account of the situation, was able to break down and really help Lily out. I think both those people deserve a lot of props.
I really understood what Fed did. What he did was he didn't really ask for consent, and OTV can slug my balls. Oh.
How could we not get attached to someone like you? Just treat it like you would treat the TV show Mad Men. I mean, you shouldn't form a relationship with me. At the end of the day, I'm entertainment. If I stop entertaining, you stop watching. That's it. That's what I want from you guys. If I'm ever a resident sleeper, I want you to stop watching me because I'm not your friend. I will never, ever hang out with you. And I don't care about you because I don't know you. I can't. There are 13,000 people here. I can't care about all of you because I don't know any of you. So all I do is I turn on Twitch. I treat you like a coherent body of people, and I stream to entertain. That's all I do. And you have to recognize that. I'm not... Even if you drop a primer, yes, even if you drop a primer, I still ain't your homie.
To the point, like, I'm about to, like, get a kissy. I'm like, can I do this? Okay? And, like, can I put my hand there or whatever? Or, like, I always ask. Okay? And, yeah, it becomes, like, really bad sometimes. It's kind of awkward or whatever. But my theory is that if some girl is into you, you asking isn't going to be the deal breaker to not getting the juice. Right? That's my philosophy. Is that if I'm at that point in the interaction, I'm already far enough that asking won't do shit. And it won't break the moment that much. And for experience, my track record is that most girls find it...
It may seem really bad to take away Fed's livelihood because he did these things. But what it does is it sends a very clear message to the rest of Twitch that this is not something that we as an industry will stand for. And that is a very important message to send. It is for that reason that I am okay completely with a ban from Fed. Fed may go, he's a very young guy, right? He may go through his life and realize he made bad decisions, and he may become a better person later. I hope that he does. But I guess the analogy that I'll use is you might have a kid and you tell them not to touch a hot stove, and they do, and they keep burning their fingers. And you say, if you keep doing that, you're going to burn your fucking hand off, right? And one day you burn your hand off because you hold your hand on the stove and it gets stuck there and it burns your hand. Well, you can never take back the wound that you've created.